Alrighty, we are back once again for episode 78 of Slurp Toast, a podcast.
There we go.
And I'm going to hop over to Instagram and start our live feed. There, I got that working tonight. I'm still got to figure out Facebook. But anyway, in the short term, welcome aboard Instagram for the next hour and welcome everyone else for the duration. And here we are. It is the 25th of September. I don't know why I did the date tonight. I've never done the date before. I felt compelled tonight. I don't know why.
Because we're going to make some kind of history out of it.
History or histrionics, one or the other.
We'll go with that one.
Yeah, that's probably more likely. So what is up in Kansas City? Are y'all in the playoffs yet? Are you going to make the playoffs?
No.
No? Are y'all out?
No. We lost 7 in a row, and we're still not out.
Wow. Well, I mean, the Astros lost like 20 to begin the season, and they clinched last night. So it's a long-ass season. That's all that proves.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where, if they'd gone 500 on a homestand, it's over,
But they went over, huh?
But they went 0 for 7.
Wow. But
they're not the White Sox.
There you go. I was teeing it up for you. Are you celebrating there in your basement the milestone that your most hated White Sox
tonight?
I don't know. I'm assuming they did. That's what they do, right? Let me take a look while you're discussing how much you hate the White Sox. Let me take a look.
And
I'm working on it. Hang on.
Somebody asked me, they're like, "How long have you hated the White Sox?" I said 1908.
They're actually beating the Angels in the top of the 7th, 3-2.
Oh well, still time.
They got to go to the bullpen, right?
So go to the bullpen, give it up. No,
we'll keep an eye on that throughout the podcast and see how that goes.
Yeah, somebody asked me about that.
I'll do the ESPN break-in if something changes.
Yeah, and I told them it's like it's just kind of fun to have rational hatred for something that you can find any reason to turn anything into a dig. It's not as bad. So there was an incident several years ago where White Sox fans jumped onto the field and assaulted our first base coach, right?
What did I think I remember that now that you said
that was years ago.
Yeah. Classic with a K.
Yeah. So anyway, the guy behind me, his dad has season tickets. Or I guess it's his father-in-law, but he has a Royals jersey with that coach's name on it, and he wears it every time he comes to a game. They're playing the White Sox.
That's amazing. Does he stand up and give the thumbs to the back like Rob Van Dam?
He does too. I saw him do it. I said, "What is that?" He goes, "Don't you know what that is?" I'm looking at it, I go, "Oh, that's that guy they jumped." He's like, "Yep."
That's amazing. It's
No,
I have a custom Astros jersey from the last iteration of the Astros when they had the black and red uniforms.
Uh-huh.
And it's a Lance Berkman, and it was customized to say Fat Elvis on it. I love wearing that to the ballpark.
Oh, hell yes.
Oh, man. So what else is going on with you besides rooting for the Royals and hating on the White Sox?
Yeah, see, and then here's the deal. They have to lose tonight to get 121 because their final 3-game series is against Detroit, and Detroit is who's nipping at our heels. So I have to actually root for them to lose tonight and then root for them to win.
To win out?
Yes.
Oh.
So
how what's the magic number involved there then?
I have no idea. I think it's all.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's not good.
And we've got a series against the Nationals and the Braves.
Ooh.
Yeah.
D. Runner on first, top of the 7th. 1 out. All right.
At 121, my little mascot goes right back onto the.
He should ride on your dash for a few days. Take him with you everywhere you go.
This is my little prison man.
Yes.
I missed it. I didn't see him until too late. But they had like mascot night, and they had all the AL Central mascots there, including Prison Boy.
Oh, wow.
And I did not see him in time to run down and have my picture taken with Southpaw the mascot. Because that would have been fan-fucking-tastic. Because I had taken a picture with him, and then I'd had another picture with my little prison guy.
That is an opportunity missed for certain.
Oh, and then they went on the field, and they never came back out into the stands.
Mascots are going to mascot. What are you going to do?
Yeah. But I could tell he was looking to commit a crime.
Well, he probably
had mascot.
He had, he scoped out the place.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, he was casing it. He was casing the joint.
Mm-hmm. He could come back later, rob it with machine guns and sharks and
spats on his cleats.
Yeah, exactly. Big nasty cleats, spiking everything.
Roundhouse spike kick. My new finishing move.
Opens the mascot's throat. There's just fluff stuffing everywhere.
And some guys out going, Jane, get me out of this crazy thing. So we got Comic-Con tickets thanks to you, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Well, I know. Because Kristen called me. She goes, how long are you going to be there? And I'm like, I have no idea. Once they open the window, it could be an hour. It could be 15 minutes. And then
it could say it's going to be an hour, and it could be 15 minutes.
Exactly.
It can say it's going to be an hour and never fucking move. It just varies.
And so we get off the phone. You call me. The windows open up, and out of 5 browsers, we had 1 browser come in at 30 minutes.
And the other 4 were all sitting in an hour, and we'd been in the waiting room for the full allotted time.
Yep.
I will say, I think you are, of the people involved in our Comic-Con adventures, you are the second luckiest, and I am the least lucky, by the way. I was thinking about it. You get the silver medal in luck. Up, men on the corner, 1 out. Tying run is at the third base.
And they're playing the Angels, which I've come to believe is just a criminally inept organization. The A's are deliberately inept. The Angels are criminally inept. Because as people joke, it's like, God, could you imagine if you had Rendon, Trout, and Ohtani on the same team?
And you don't win anything?
And then you look like Ohtani's had 2 arm surgeries. Trout has all the back issues. And it's kind of like, what's going on over there?
Ohtani's playing both ways for you, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And he's pitching like a almost Cy Young winner.
Yeah, he's at worst a number 2 starter, right?
Exactly. At worst, a number 2 starter. And you can't build around that. You're not.
And you're in Los Angeles. Let's also, you're in the second largest media market in the country. And aren't they owned by Disney at this point?
I always thought they were, but no, I think there is a family that owns them.
I know Gene Autry started the organization.
Yeah.
But he sold it to somebody. Okay.
And because I think, Disney probably bought it and they're, let's do lines of Coke and buy sports teams that we've made movies about. We just did the Mighty Ducks. We should have a hockey team. Synergy. Got some of that Colombian synergy going.
Okay. We may have a title now. Colombian synergy.
Well, that Colombian synergy. Yeah.
I had Southside Immolation written, but I like Colombian synergy better. But anyway.
But yeah, it's just amazing that God, I don't know. I was watching. We're going to bounce a little bit. Watching fans for the Oakland A's who were like tearing up the seats after the last home game.
Right.
And I thought, that owner, just Come out to the ballpark, bring a truck, bring your tools, $500, take whatever you want.
Yeah.
We're going to demo the stadium. You want to take about 10 rows of seats? Knock yourself out. You want to take concessions? Take them. You want to peel banners off the walls? Go for it. We've got everything we're taking with us out of here.
Right.
Go next.
We'll have our Moneyball team collecting cash at the entrances to let you in to do the demo for us, right?
Moneyball, yeah, it's Moneyball demo night. For a nominal fee, you can come down and take part of the stadium home with you.
And if we like the way you look, we might consider a contract. We whirl.
If you can pitch or you can hit. Somebody's out there like trying to take the field, the foul pole down.
There's a very stringent waiver you have to sign before you go through the door.
Well, yeah. You do have to bring your own PPE. See, you don't have. Okay. You have to bring your own tools, your own PPE, and you have to have proper PPE. And go nuts. There you go, $500.
And we release the organization and from
all
liability. Yes,
all liability. You do it over a long week. You do it over World Series weekend. You play the World Series on the Jumbotron. Play the World Series on the Jumbotron so that they're good and mad and trying to run highlights of the A's. Look, here's Ricky Henderson. God, sons of bitches.
It appears the Angels get into an inning double play. It's all right. They got 2 more shots at it.
That's right.
So Comic-Con is situated. Well, the first hurdle of Comic-Con is situated, I should say.
Yeah, but the next hurdle, doesn't happen until, I don't know. This one happened so early, so November.
Yeah, that seemed early to me. Was it early to you this year?
Yeah, somebody said that they do it so many days after after the show. They do like 55 days that they start selling tickets for the next one. I don't know.
Okay.
I always figured that they did it either right before, probably, I think right after New York. Is what I assumed.
I always figured it was tied to WonderCon because they could get one out of the way and then start gearing up the next one. But what do I know? It just popped up on my screen that the wife from Chrisley Knows Best just got resentenced to 7 more years in prison. I don't know why, but I just thought I'd share that. I have news alerts popping up. So,
well, that's a shame. Yeah. Which one is that? Oh, is that the ones from Georgia?
Yes.
Where you're thinking that dude's gay?
Oh, that's the one. Yep, that's the one. I used to love it when that would come on after WWE Monday Night Raw, and I'd be like, could I get more televised whiplash than I just got right there?
Your program director is doing the Colombian synergy. What should I follow WWE with? Somebody who's clearly a beard.
Woo! Woo! That's too funny. Oh, man. So let's see what else is going on in my world. Well, we talked about we moved my old man into his new apartment. He's apparently not. He's enjoying the food.
Huh.
He's been getting 3 hots. He's not enjoying the cots part. I talked to him. I've called him every day this week, and he's not answered. And finally, my sister made him call me this evening, and he was wandering back. He'd had fried chicken for dinner, and he seemed quite happy. But he said he was ready to go home. I said, "Dad, you gave it 5 days, really? Gonna have to do better than that." So that was.
Maybe he'll settle in.
We'll see. He had he apparently ate dinner with some ladies this evening because that was the only table available. I think they were checking out the new blood, but what do I know? Fresh meat and all that.
Meat. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, he's got all of his teeth. Yeah.
He's wiry.
The people who have the season tickets behind us,
right?
And we've been on the same 20-game package for 12, maybe 15 years.
Okay.
So they've been behind us for like I say, either 12 or 15. It gets a little fuzzy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so probably about 15 years.
Okay.
Decided not to renew his tickets, and that was kind of, his daughter tells us, and we're like, well, that's sad. He's 85 years old. His wife had passed away several years ago. He just woke up one morning and he's like, I'm going to sell the house. I'm going to move into the senior center.
I will tell you, I had this this fleeting thought Monday, because we were there, on and off all day Saturday and most half of Sunday. And I'm like, this is that greatest generation bleeding into boomers in this place, right?
Ooh,
I'm thinking
fun.
and I watch my dad sitting in his recliner, kind of just doing what he does, right, which is not a whole lot of anything. And I'm thinking, if I had all day to sit in that chair, I would be gaming my ass off. And that's what it's going to look like when we get there, right? It's because we're the original video game kids. It's going to be joysticks and headphones, and we're going to be talking smack to each other.
Yeah. Mom, Grandpa's on Fortnite again, and you won't let me win.
In my day, you didn't win. You just put another quarter in, son.
I'm giving you character, boy.
Seriously though, I'm thinking, the lobby's got the little Alexa speaker playing, smooth jazz, and it's the Eagles and whatever, and I'm like, it's gonna be Rat and Bon Jovi playing in the lobby, and Joy Division, and it's just gonna be a whole different vibe, right?
It was kind of funny because Kristen and I were talking about that. And I said, if you think about it, our generation is the reason kids today have soft toys. Because anything that could be choked on, put your eye out, or used to stab or maim another kid was. And so when the warnings didn't work, they just took all the sharp edges off of everything.
You're right. You're right. Well, what did they expect? They raised us on Evel Knievel, right? I mean, right there.
And left us alone.
I think I've told this story before, but I told you the one about the nails in the wood for the shield. But another time, my buddy Jeff and I decided we wanted to, because, we were like 11 and 10, 10 and 9. I don't know. Decided it'd be fun to try and make a bomb. I don't know how to make a bomb. I'm 10. But I know my dad's got a lot of flammable shit in the garage. So we got a plastic bag and just started dumping flammable shit in it. And I took a piece of cotton string, dumped it down in there, tied it off. We took it down to the construction site at the end of the road, lit it up. It didn't blow up, but it burned for days. Left a serious burn mark on that newly poured concrete. Scared some kids from the other street away. I don't know. Yeah, we were left unsupervised with stupid shit.
Oh my God. I told you this, my friend Danny Floyd, he and his brother we would make, because obviously we're small, right? So we could fit. You can cut a hole in the arms out of a paper bag. And that was like our night armor, was that paper bag.
Sure.
And then built weapons out of cardboard and tape. And would have night fights down in the basement. So we'd hand make a sword, or choose wrapped in duct tape. And it, one, leaves a welt, and two, really, really leaves a welt. But my friend's brother made a cat of nine tails, where he just took pieces of cardboard and then just wrapped them in electrical tape.
Oh.
And so my buddy's got his shield, and David does this, and that stuff digs into this cardboard shield. It takes a chunk out of it.
Oh,
and
my.
Danny's like, uh-oh. And then he does it again, and it grabs hold of our paper sack armor and just tore it off.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. And I remember we pissed David off. It was Danny and David. And we pissed David off once, and he had a sheet that he tied a knot into. And it was just simply called George the Knot, right? And so we're teasing David. David takes off and he screams something. We realize that he's getting George the Knot. So we go to run out the front door of the house. Now, it's one of the houses where you have a stairwell and you kind of like have a crosswalk up above, bedrooms on either side of the
Sure.
crosswalk. Okay, so the path to the front door through the kitchen runs under that crosswalk. And I'm behind Danny, and all I see is this thing come off of the crosswalk. It hits Danny square in the chest, lifts him off the feet. I mean, George the Nut fucking took him out.
Oh my God.
And I just ran around him and
Well,
left.
sure, as one would. Except if George the Knot comes out, it's every man for himself. Good Lord.
I mean, the games that we were playing, we ended up on either side of the street throwing an inner tube at each other, right? Like bike inner tubes. They were supposed to clean out Danny's garage, and so we kind of did it. And then we started throwing stuff at each other. And so anyway, David throws something at us. Danny picks up this inner tube, he throws it. His brother David turns his back. The thing hits him in the back of the head, in the neck, and the inner tube wraps around his head twice and swap across the face.
Wow.
So we're laughing at this, right? Ha, 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 ha. My mom pulls up. She goes, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, we're playing." Well, I'm on one side of the car. Daddy's on the other side of the car with his back to his house. And David comes running out of the house with a broom handle. I'm like, Daddy. He turns and starts running around.
We used to have, when we lived in Lake Charles at that age, right? So the street I lived on dead-ended a block further down, and then they started building it out. So we had what we all colloquially called the dirt road down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, top of the eighth, man on first, one out.
Okay.
And they had left one tree. I don't know why they had left one scrawny ass tree on this little hill relative to construction, right? Because it's South Louisiana, so there's not really a hill. It's just dirt pushed around. But the trick every weekend was to be the first ones down there to get the tree, right? Because that was the only cover for the weekend. And we had dirt clod wars with that gumbo soil. So what you had on one side of the dugout street, one out, men on first and second, by the way. We had the tree, they had the dugout road, and then they pushed all the dirt up on the other side, so there was a dirt hill. So you had cover on both sides. Well, and there was a group of kids that lived in the block closest to the dirt road, and then there was a group of us that lived the next block down. So it was always a power struggle, right?
Right.
One Saturday, we got into an epic dirt clod war. Shit was flying everywhere. And we didn't have the tree that day. We had the hill. And it wasn't going well for us, so we decided the retreat was in order. We piled on our bikes, and one of the Newton brothers, you had 2 Ds, I had 2 Ks, I had Keith and Kevin. What up, Newton brothers? Came over the hill and caught me square in the back with this giant dirt clod, knocked me off my bike. I was like sprawled out, I couldn't breathe. Next thing I know, my sister is up, just peppering the shit out of them with these dirt clod. Standing over me. It's like a Western. She's just... They retreat back to the tree, so we were able to get away. But yeah, that gumbo soil was unforgiving when it was a giant clod.
And that's the way we played by throwing dirt.
And we were fine Monday. We were back at school. We were all in the same classes. It was just weekend warfare. It was no big deal. Bases loaded, one out.
Oh. So wait a minute. Okay. Where are we going? Oh, yeah, bases. Oh, okay.
Top of the eighth, bases loaded, one out. I will keep you apprised on this.
No, I've got I down no, I opened up Game Day
Okay, I've just got my
just in
phone
case.
sitting right there. We'll know when something good happens. You'll be dancing around.
121. Yes, yes, yes.
I saw a picture yesterday, the day before, sometime this week that made me think of you. Apparently, they have collected all of Marvel's Micronauts into one of
Micronauts.
those giant.
There's 2 volumes. Yes.
Oh, okay, had not seen that before the other day. I guess somebody had picked one up. I was like, "Holy crap!" I'm a little concerned about the binding when they get that big. I have not bought any of those because that just looks like too many pages.
Yes, here's 8. Yeah, it's basically it's like 700 pages. It's a ream of paper.
Yeah, bound up with some glue and tacking strips. I don't know.
Yes, so it'll hold together through like halfway through the first reading.
If you're just gonna have it for display purposes, it's
That'd be
probably
awesome.
fine.
Awesome,
But if you're
awesome.
gonna actually try and read it, I don't think so because we were in high ball game.
Yep.
We had gone to Austin Books and Comics one weekend. Laura and I were out, and I wanted to stop by. I don't remember what I was looking for, if anything. Just wanted to go by. I think it was my birthday weekend. That's why we went.
There we go.
And I picked up one of those, and I can't remember what it was, but it was one of those with that. And she goes, "You want that for your birthday?" I'm like, "No, it's gonna fall apart."
Yeah, it's cool.
I've read this, and it's gonna fall apart.
I read the Essential Moon Knights. I bought those.
The
digitally.
newsprint ones?
No, I bought them digitally.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's like I saw one. It was, yeah. Again, it's like 1.5 2 inches thick. It's like Stephen King's The Stand.
Right.
And you're just like, oh my god, that's like all the Hulk magazines, the very terrible Defenders. I don't know. It's too much. It's too much. But I wouldn't mind go back and reread the Micronaut stuff just to see.
I don't mind the essential ones when they're paperback and it's
Yes.
on the newsprint style paper. I don't feel like I'm gonna get ripped off if it falls apart. But if I'm paying $70 and it's hardcover and full color, and I just know going in it's not gonna hold up, that just doesn't seem like a value proposition to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Colored me skeptical.
Oh, hey, speaking of value propositions.
Hit me.
So I found finally Darkseid.
Oh, did you?
Yes. And I would have had him today, except the guy who sold him, it was loose, but it was complete. And I was like, that's cool. That's perfect. He sent it in a shipping envelope.
Oh no.
Padded envelope. Right? So
right.
I get this envelope and I pick
3
it up.
outs. Sorry. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th. They tied at 3. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. So no, I pick it up and it like flops over in my hand. I open it up and the it's come unglued at the torso. The base is now cracked. And I was like, the base is cracked. I'm like, oh, I can deal with this. And I pull out the legs. I'm like, seriously? I pull out the torso and I'm looking at it. I put it together and it's like, oh, I can just glue this back together. And then the head was off and the neck skin was broken. So it's like, I can't really repair that. And I don't feel like putting in a whole bunch of glue and just gluing the head in one position.
Right.
To be able to twist it and turn it. So I send the guy pictures. I send him a note, say, hey, man, this happened. His response is, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. If I had known it was going to be that fragile, I'd have sent it in a box. And I'm sitting there thinking, you should expect it to be that fragile and send it in a box.
Yeah. You assume the worst and plan for it.
I go by the same rule of thumb as when I was working retail. You put you try and get about an inch of packing material all around the thing. And then, then you hope for the best, but you also try and recycle boxes when I can, but after about the third or fourth trip through, you're like, it's going too little recycling now, but.
Yeah, no. I worked at Crate and Barrel long enough, man. selling dishes? Shit. I'm going to buy a whole set of dishes, and I like them gift boxed. Gotcha. This is going to take a couple of minutes. You put 2 down, you stack 1, 2 more sheets, stack, fold up, wrap around that, into the box with more, over the top of the box. Then they had that really cool tape dispenser thing that worked as long as it didn't get stuck together. You say, it's box size number 6. Click, zip, and it moistens and cuts off the piece of tape that's the size for your box.
Nice.
Yeah, it was whatever box number it was. Just bloop. Skunk. I'm doing sound effects tonight too.
All right. But the nice thing, but then you get it in like perfect shape. I sent it back to him in a box because I'm not a total animal.
Well,
yeah, because I'm sitting there going, because I have it and there's some dust on it, right? I cleaned it up. When I was done, it was like, man, if I could fix this neck, this thing is
good to go.
Good to go. And so I was going, if it turns into a minch and he doesn't want to send a return, how do I fix the neck? How do I get those pieces out? Do I keep skimming the sails, hoping to either catch something I can use as like a donor figure? I just couldn't believe that. Nobody knew it was going to be that fragile. I'd done a better job. It's a 15-year-old action figure, dumbass.
That's out of the package.
It's out of the package. How sturdy do you think this is? You could have just stuck an envelope to Darkseid's face, stuck a stamp on his face, written the address in marker on his chest, and thrown it in the mail and it had gotten there in the same condition I got it.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
So now I'm back to. I was so excited. It's like done. Yes.
Well, like I think I've suggested this previously, but once you have him in your hands, we'll do the compare and contrast episode, and we'll bring out your bless you, your new gods against my JLU new gods, and we'll just compare and contrast.
That'd be fine. That'd be great. I was ready too.
So let's see, you have because it's Superman, Light Ray, Orion, Mr. Miracle, and Darkseid, Barda, and Darkseid. So there's 6.
Darkseid. Calabac, whatever.
Calabac, okay, so there's 7. There's 7.
And Metron.
Okay, I don't have a Metron, but I have the other 7. They did not do a JLU Metron, which now in retrospect seems like a missed opportunity. But I have the other 6. So, and I have some female Furies I could probably throw in there too.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I think there's a Lashina. Maybe.
Don't you have some of the little demon monsters?
Parademons. I think I have. I think I have a pair of Parademons. I think they did a 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So.
I mean, they are cool looking figures, and the compare and contrast. I've mentioned this that like some of the McFarlane figures,
right,
are really well sculpted, really well crafted, but they're too precise and they don't have a lot of life to them.
Like most of Todd's work.
Like most of Todd's work, yeah. Because you can bend the pick, yeah. Just because the guy's got a cape that goes for a double splash doesn't necessarily mean it looks good.
But look at all the jaunty angles I can squeeze into it.
Yes.
All the points that the cloth has.
All the cross hatching. Yes.
And did you dig the groovy color?
So it's like I do like they did the Ed McGuinness style for the Bizarro and Bat Zorro.
I saw that one the other day.
It's cool. It's cool as hell.
I liked it. I didn't like it enough to buy it, but I did like it.
Exactly. They did the Adam West Batman, which comes with the Watusi figures. Yes. It also has a cloth cape with like the seam has a wire in it, so you can kind of close the cape.
See, now that was one of my all-time favorite figures, and I kind of wish I'd kept that Doctor Strange that had the posable cape.
Yes.
I kind of wish I'd kept that one. We should do a show about figures we should have kept, because I got 2 or 3 that I could contribute. But that'd be at the top of the list. It might be second on the list, actually.
No, I had that one once too, so I would agree with that.
All right, we'll just do a couple now. We'll spitball. Okay, so I there was a Scorpion they did for Spider-Man that had this ridiculously long tail that also had a wire in it that you could pose. And it
Yeah.
had the big hook stinger. I wish I'd kept that one.
Was that a Toy Biz?
No, that was just an off-the-shelf one.
Okay.
I think it was when the Spider-Man cartoon was on in the 90s, maybe? That run.
Okay.
And my third one, and I think I just like things with wires because WWE did a series called, I think it was called Maximum Sweat, and these figures, they were like they were hugely blown out of proportion, right? Speaking of McFarlane, they had muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles.
Okay.
And
I remember the figures.
And they had a reservoir in the back that you put water in and push the button and they would actually sweat. One of them was the Road Dog, and his dreadlocks all had wires in them. So you could like put his hair however you wanted to.
Like he had touched a wire. And,
yes, exactly. Or you could smooth them down for your diggity dog. But that was a fun figure because of this styling and because of the hair. And he came with a big giant ass microphone. Oh, you didn't know? So those are my three that I kind of wish I'd held on to.
Oh man, I just looked them up. I was gonna say Doctor Strange, and I had some of the Iron Man, Toy Biz Iron Man.
Yeah,
those armors. Okay, they did a thing that was kind of in the animated style.
Mm-hmm.
So the posability is not there, but it was just kind of more soft edges, and he did come with a plastic trench coat and a little rubber top hat that you can kind of push down on and hit
stuck into his side of his. Yes. I think I still have that one. I think I kept that one.
That's what I wish I'd kept. Because now I'd like out there looking around some days going, oh. This one, it's not so much the figure, but I to make space got rid of like boxes for some of my things.
Uh-huh.
One of the things I got rid of the box for was Baron Karza from the Micronauts.
Oh no!
And it's not so much for the value of it, but having it like complete now bothers me. And every now and I go on eBay and I'm like going, I am not paying $100 for an empty box.
No. No. I know.
That feels wasteful.
Yeah. I was standing in my parents' house Saturday night. I'd taken some stuff back, and I moved some stuff around, and I'm like, I don't know where, but in this house somewhere, all my Mego stuff is.
Ooh.
And when I say all, I had a shit ton of Mego. I was to Mego as you were to Micronauts. I had all the vehicles. I had,
nice.
And I want to find it because they were played with, so they're not necessarily in resellable shape. But I had a Planet of the Apes Cornelius that I want to add to the monkey collection.
Yeah.
With his little loafers and his green and fuzzy. Yeah, I want that guy. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's stuff like that. I mean, I had a Mego Spider-Man when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I had another one that I found like in an antique store for like $3, and I had that for a while.
I have the Spider-Man car,
the
one with the spider trap on the back.
Oh, nice.
Did you ever see that?
No.
It had it was like the Spider-Mobile from the comics, but on the back it had like two sticks and a thing at the top, and then there was a net that hung off the back. So if like you got your bad guy in your sights, you could pull the little lever and it would flop down. And
I'm looking that one up now too.
It was the Spider Buggy Deluxe, yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
I lost the net. I replaced it with some wedding toile from like my cousin's wedding. She got married, and my sister and I were the rice people, so I collected a bunch of that and stuck it on there. I improvise a lot of things once things started breaking.
That's what you got to do.
I bet you the Fonzie action figure I had was probably more worth something.
Hey.
He had a little switch on his back, and he would go, hey. he actually had opposable thumbs. They would pop up or go down, and you pull the button on the back, and he would go, hey.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Mego. Don't
And
even
yeah,
get me started.
no toys like that anymore.
Did you ever have the Evil Knievel stunt cycle thing? Did you have one of those?
Yes,
I did not,
absolutely.
but my buddy Jeff across the street did, and we made some stupidly large ramps in the middle of our street.
Jumping over just anything you could find in the garage.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And then,
Down the slide in the backyard, up something else, slammed him into the side of the house. Yeah, oh yeah.
oh, well, you're talking about living in the construction site. When I lived in Denver, they were building neighborhoods around us, and we would go to the trash piles
Hmm.
and built a clubhouse from what we got in the trash piles. Now, I think at one point, because we had full sheets of plywood, we were not technically in the trash pile.
Eh.
But we had a knack for building. And so we built a clubhouse. We had a plywood floor, we had walls. They were roofing, and in Denver, everything was cedar shingles.
Mhm.
And so we went through the trash piles and got cedar shingles and sided the.
Oh wow.
And I mean, it's very, but looking back on it now, we would look at how something was built and then try and redo it ourselves. Right.
Oh,
So our clubhouse, when it came time to tear it down, um, you couldn't. And we'd walk around like the basements and the perimeter of the houses and pick up nails and stuff. And I mean, nice clubhouse. It's snowing. It's warm in there because
nice.
it's shingled on the outside. And my parents were finally like, it's got to come down. And it took so much effort to tear it down.
We didn't build one. We inherited one. When we
Ah,
moved, when we moved into that house in Lake Charles, there was a garden shed in the backyard. Dad used for his tools and stuff, and then he bought the bigger one, put it in the back of the yard. That house had the biggest yard I've ever seen in like a small residential neighborhood. It this giant shed in the back. So we inherited the garden shed, and he floored it, and we had some chairs and stuff in there, and he put a little latch on it. But we learned very quickly the dangers of fiberglass because the sides and the roof were all fiberglass. And so we learned really quickly we couldn't lean against it or sit on the roof or anything, or we'd itch for a month. But you also couldn't really be in it in July in Louisiana because it was like being in the box in Cool Hand Luke. Sometime later, when I finally saw Cool Hand Luke, I'm like, oh, I've been there. Yeah.
and I never mouthed off the boss.
No. I
Get
didn't
it out of the
even
box. Forget this. Not sound off.
failure to communicate.
I may have told you this. Again, because we live next to, if I said this and somebody in Denver, the French aren't going to get this, but there used to be a reservoir called Cherry Creek Reservoir. And we live next to a dam, basically.
Okay.
So there was a field. So there's our thing and then open field. And so we're out exploring. We find a creek. And somebody had tried to dam the creek, right?
Sure.
And it washed out. So we rebuilt the dam. And then it rained and we went and it washed out. So then we started thinking about how do we build a dam that doesn't wash out? So we looked at the dam that we had next to us. So again, we got so we start by diverting the little stream a little bit. We dig out a trench so the stream is there. So now we can build in kind of like a dry. It's like I watch those videos of those guys in Asia who build the concrete dams, right?
Sure.
And it's like, okay, well, I've got something better. I was a lot younger when I did it. We did it out of construction materials. We had no fucking plan. But we started with cinder block, and that was like our base. And we built that up, and we're like, oh, it washed out. We need a way to relieve the pressure. So we go, well, our dam has a spillway. So we got PVC pipe from the construction sites and put in 3 or 4 spillway pipes. And then we covered that with dirt, covered it with bricks. And then we got black plastic because we realized that if the water runs against the dam, the back of the dam, it will erode. So we then lined the front of the dam and the back of the dam with black plastic. and then we put in another spillway at a higher elevation, right? So we probably build this dam up about 3 feet tall in this little thing, this little culvert, whatever.
All right.
So anyway, and we go out there every day for like a week or two to build this dam, and then it rains, and it rains like a son of a bitch. Now we're all excited because we're going to find out if our dam held, and we run out there when we get a chance, and there are backhoe tracks everywhere. And the dam is now out of that little ditch and it's a mile over here.
Had you backed it up?
Yes, and we had flooded like about a half acre of this field.
Oof.
Because whenever the water flowed, it kind of like gathered into this little creek, but then that sort of opened up into a larger flat area.
Right.
So we're looking at how the water is all pressed up against the side, like the plants are all knocked down. And so we kind of go back from there, and we get to this where this hole opens up. You can tell it's covered by water.
Wow. Wow.
And it was like, God, if we only could have come out here. And it was still wet.
Right,
But it was
right.
still covered by water. We would have seen the handiwork that,
Oh.
yeah, maybe you engineers aren't as smart as you think if a couple of 12-year-olds can do what shit they find in a construction site.
Bottom 9, 2 outs. Oh, end of 9. Tie game. Going to extras.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Ghost Runners, baby.
So,
Which I don't like. Innings 10, 11, and 12. I think that should be played the same at 13. Then you start using the Ghost Runner.
yeah.
Or
10,
you
11,
start Ghost
12,
Runner first.
Ghost Runner, man. God. Ghost Runners. Got a Ghost Runner on first. Now I'm thinking about the
you
wiffle.
avoided the tag. He's on third now.
Now exactly. Now I'm thinking about the wiffle ball games in the middle of the street with the seams in the concrete for the bases. Yep. Oh man, I had a buddy. You know, we all had the wiffle ball. And I had the. Did you have the buddy? You had the one wiffle ball bat that was supposed to look like a piece of wood.
No, I never saw
I
that.
had. It was like bright pink, and so it was looked like a 2x4.
Really?
With the grain on it. So it was a whole lot more surface area to get a hold of that wiffle ball with. And you could do some damage with that thing, man.
Okay, I'm trying to find that now.
I want to say it was Whammo, but I just want to say everything like that was Whammo. So what do I know?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the official wiffle ball. What would you call that? Wiffle ball plank?
I don't know. I only knew one person who had it. But man, we all used it. Once we figured out you got a whole lot more surface area to whack that wiffle ball with.
Huh.
Let me see if I can find one.
I know, I'm looking. I mean, I know they had some that had like wood grain on them.
Let's see. This is probably really exciting to our viewers as we Google search.
Because if you had that, man, you could totally cosplay as Hacksaw Duggan.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. I don't see it doing a quick search. I will see if I can find it and post it somewhere. Yeah, it was bat length and it tapered down to the handle, but then it tapered up and out. Like a cricket bat now that I think about it.
Ah.
So
There we go.
yeah, there you go. There's your analogy.
Huh. But yeah, we played games in the streets and lawn
Sure.
darts and, slip and slides that ended in somebody's driveway.
We had this tall tree, and I may have told this story here before, but we had this tree, this big giant yard, right? It was like sections. Like there was, like the left side was where the house, like the door to the backyard was, the garbage cans, the dog house, the swing set, the little garden shed were all on that side of the house. And there was one tree that we could get way up to the top and see to the next block. And then it went farther back in Dad's shed. Dad had a garden and a shed, then he had another
Damn.
garden in the back corner. But the right side of the lawn, away from the door, the grass grew so thick I couldn't push the mower at 9. So I would have to mow like the one side, and Dad would have to do the other because I physically couldn't do it. On the thick side, there was this really, really tall tree, and I don't know what kind it was, but it was super tall. And Dad, at some point, I think we'd had some rod or something, poured a little cement in the split. So then it became a really good foothold, and I could scamper up pretty high in that tree, right?
Right.
And one Saturday, Mom and Dad were working in the garden. It was right next to the tree. And I stepped out on this branch that I'd stepped onto 1,000 times, and it just broke. And I was probably 10 feet in the air, at least. Well, I landed on the dog who was laying under the tree. This was the dog that was never a friendly dog, and I landed on him, and he tore my ass up. Couldn't get him off of me. He didn't like me on most good days. Oh, we got 2 men on and no out, by the way. And
Wagman double play.
So yeah, the dog ate my ass up. That was the end of that story. So hey, I don't. But do you have anything on your desk?
Do I have? You know what? I did. I had something.
Here,
It was Jermaine.
I may have
Where
something.
the hell did it go? What the hell was it? I didn't put it away.
Hold on.
Music.
What's on your desk?
What's on your desk?
All right. 2 outs, man on third.
Only got to get one.
All right, I'll go first. I have this. I don't know if you can see that. So the guy that did the dude,
Starry Night.
the guy that did the dude behind me back here.
Oh, okay.
When I bought that, we got this as well. It's Starry Night, but it's like South Lamar Street in Austin. You can see the.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a throw in with the purchase of the dude, and it's migrated out here. So that's all I got today. That's all. Shout out to Chicasso.
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I think that I had so much. You know what? All right, we'll go with
No runs, 3 outs. Bottom 10.
I'll go with these because I can't remember what the hell the other one was. It was a Funko something.
The hell you say?
I think it was a Funko something. And I must have put it away. Well, I'll do that for what's on your desk. And then I forgot. So I'll go with Prince. Not Prince, but Prince.
Gotcha.
So I don't know why. I was just kind of poking around online. And I found that Marvel and Upper Deck did, like, they call it the Platinum series.
Okay.
And, it's one of those where they do like 15 variations of a card, where you have prism, red prism, black prism, sparkle prism. But they did one of the inserts packs or insert sets was iconic covers.
Okay.
And so you can get like a little metallic chrome card of like Amazing Fantasy 15. And so I've been picking some of those up. We'll go with Steranko's Shield. This is the rainbow chrome metallic. Got it because of the sort of the mind-bending pattern shit that he did.
Oh, his stuff was so cool. Couldn't write his way out of a bag, kind of like Jack Kirby. Because I've read some of that Shield stuff, and it is bad.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not so bad. It's just so very of the time, like Cold War, James Bond ripoffy kind of. Anyway.
Yeah,
that's very cool. I like that.
And I've gotten a couple of them. I've got like the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, Spanish on the Thor logo.
Nice.
Fantastic Four #1.
And where are you finding these?
It's you can find them on eBay, but the series is like do Marvel Platinum iconic covers.
Okay.
And they've got some neat ones. They have Avengers #1. Is like FF #1. Modern X-Men. The thing that kills me is they have the all new, all different X-Men. 95,
right?
And then they have the Jim Lee X-Men #1. But they don't have X-Men #1. So it's kind of like, okay, so we've got the Wolverine with the claws out and the Hulk reflected in the claws.
Right.
Kind of a cool image. They've got Hulk 181, Wolverine. They've got Spider-Man 300 with that one's a cool one. But again, no X-Men #1.
That seems like a glaring omission to me.
But you've got Tales to, you've got the Iron Man Tales to Astonish. You've got the Thor with the hammer.
Journey into Mystery.
Avengers #1. Hulk #1. 4 other X-Men covers like Jean Grey coming up out of the water as Phoenix.
Sure.
Logan and Kitty Pryde against the wall of the wanted posters.
Oh, yeah. Future Past.
So, yeah, they've got some really kind of cool images. And if you poke through there, it's a couple bucks. Not a big deal. But they're kind of fun.
I'm going to take a look at that. I'm intrigued by the idea of the Beta Ray Bill one.
Yeah, the Beta Ray. One moment.
Please hold.
Yes, since I'm down here with all
the White Sox have a man on second with 1 out.
Not cool.
Yes.
And so they have like 2 flavors. There's a regular chrome, and then they have like a rainbow chrome. And I think the rainbow chrome is kind of cool.
Nice.
More.
Nice. Oh, I like that one a lot.
That one is fun.
It's got good depth on it.
It does. And
that was the first thing when you held it up and it flickered. It was like, oh, there's depth to that one.
Oh, yeah. And Amazing Fantasy are both really cool. And even that one is not too bad.
That was good. I mean, the silver, the chrome part in the middle pops on the black suit.
It works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are kind of fun.
That is cool. That's cool.
And they're cheap.
I'll have something better. I need to go buy the gigantic Beta Ray Bill. I haven't done that yet.
What's that?
I need to go buy that gigantic Beta Ray Bill action figure I keep thinking about buying.
Oh, the Diamond Select one?
Yeah.
With the red hair and the...
It'll look nice next to Calabac.
I found the McFarlane Calabac. Holy shit. That thing is huge.
This guy right here?
Yes, that guy right there.
I think we've done this before, but compare and contrast, shall we? JLU Demon and Calabac from the McFarlane collection.
There's a used vintage toy store.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they one guy, his stuff was kind of garage sale esque.
Oh, and he probably wants
new
on card price.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're kind of like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I knew there was something else I wanted to ask you about. Have you seen Slow Horses on Apple Plus?
No. And did you mention that last time?
I did not, because I hadn't started watching it yet. But it's a British spy show based on a series of books. Gary Oldman is the lead.
Okay.
Who, by the way, is an international treasure. I should say that now.
Oh, now I remember what it was. Okay.
And he's got like this. He's this washed out Cold War era spy who's put in charge of the the flop house where all the other washout spies go to.
Yeah. I've seen snippets.
It's really good, and they do the thing that you and I always wish other shows did. Every season is 6 episodes. In, out. There's no wasted time. There's no wasted narrative. There's no side quests for characters. It is, we're moving forward. And I'm never going to say goodbye to Instagram, but good night, Instagram. Yeah, it's really good. Like, there's 3 seasons, and they're like about halfway through the 4th one, and we have 2 episodes left in season 3. We started watching it. I was like, oh, this is really good. But yeah, it clips, man. It just moves. It moves. No wasted effort.
Okay. No, I've seen snippets.
I highly recommend it. You will dig the hell out of it. I firmly believe.
I did watch Chaos on Netflix.
How is that one? That's the one with Jeff Goldblum and Zeus, right?
Yes, it's okay.
It's just okay.
It doesn't come together right.
Okay.
I mean, I did go and watch the whole first series of 8 episodes, but it's like there's really good parts, and then there's like parts that just don't fit, and it's like they could have found a way to, Jeff Goldblum as Zeus, as Zeus, and they don't fear me, like I do like him. There's a scene with him like on the phone trying to call the kids. Hey, Aries, it's Dad. Gone to voicemail again. Really wish you pick up. Kind of want to find out what you're up to.
I hate to report this, but the White Sox win in 4-3. Sorry.
Bum, bum, bum. What the hell? They're playing for pride now?
They're trying to avoid that 121, man.
That's a side quest.
Right.
We're going nowhere. But by God, we're not getting 121.
Now, I haven't been following that closely, but is that would that be the all-time futility record?
I think it's the all-time modern era. They talk about like some old 1800s team that lost 132 games.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they barnstormed and they played like the All-Stars, like that poor Washington Senators team. Or whoever it is that plays the Savannah Bananas.
Speaking of, I got a book for my birthday that I think you would like. It's called Baseball the Movie.
Okay.
And it tracks the history of baseball movies from like Bang the Drum Slowly and Pride of the Yankees through like Moneyball and Trouble with the Curve. Kind of like reflecting on their place in like movie history, sports movie history, the culture at the time, and it's a really interesting read. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I inhaled it.
Okay, then.
I opened it up at the bookstore a couple days before my birthday and I went, all right, if it has this particular movie in it, I'll know it's for real and I'll get it. And that movie was the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars, and it's in there. And I went, all right, Laura, this is a birthday present, please. It's my gauge.
All right. So good read, fun read?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's light. It's not, you're not going to hurt your brain, but it's a fun, because I mean, I haven't seen some of those old ones, but older, Field of Dreams, League of Their Own, 8 Men Out. It's
the reason we all hate the White Sox.
Exactly. All the way through. Like I said, Moneyball, Trouble with the Curve. I can't remember all, but it's really thorough, and it breaks it down by like timeline, right? So it's early, and then anyway, it's a really good read.
Okay.
So
I will pick that up after I finish rolling through Cleat.
Oh, and how are you enjoying the Cleat?
I haven't been able to sit down and really go.
Okay. Well, we can save that.
It's feeling like it's a little more noir than a Dave. And it's kind of interesting because of its Cleat. We read Dave Robichaux and we know he talks about the ghosts and
mm-hmm.
and all that nonsense. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It feels like Burke may have said, all right, I'll explain exactly what's going on with Dave for the people who don't get it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. To have an outside perspective on Dave's mania is an interesting take, for sure.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think he's between dead wives right now.
It's previous, right? Isn't it pre-Katrina? I can't remember.
Yeah, it says like 90s. So.
Yeah.
Which, there comes a point when, like, Kristen read the Sue Grafton ones.
Right? The what?
The Sue Grafton one.
Okay, sure.
Which, I picked one up, and it's 2015, right? And it says, going back through my old case files, 1988. And you're like, that's how you don't have to worry about people going, how come Spencer still scares people at 85?
Exactly. What was I? Something I was reading an article about. Oh, I just finished reading the latest Hap and Leonard book.
Okay.
That just came out, right? And it was. I read an interview with Lansdale. He's like, the time frame is a little, loosey goosey. Like a lot of their contemporaries, they age differently than normal human beings, and that's sort of part of the genre. I'm like, yeah, but there comes a time when you've stretched it as far as it'll go without snapping,
You can no longer talk about those days and nights back in Korea.
Yeah.
Without somebody going, Korea was in the 50s, and that's 70 years ago.
You had to be at least 18.
90.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about that several times with Hero. That's when I kind of had to say goodbye to Spencer, was when I realized he was the same age as my dad, roughly. And he was scaring Boston street punks. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out.
That's why you got to bring in the 15 Evvies, Cholo, and everybody who's like Hawk-esque.
Yes, the gay
I need
pistolero.
Somebody who's a tough racial stereotype who I can joke with.
Racial or sexual stereotype, yes, because we have a gay pistolero as well.
Yes, that we can banter with. In a non-racial way. Don't your people like fried chicken, Hawk? My people. Bam, 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 bam. Spencer's dead.
Had enough of your cracker talk now.
Take your mayonnaise loving ass and get the fuck out my crib.
Now we're doing it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should stop now.
Because we've read those books.
We read them all. Pages and pages and pages of them. Oh.
Yes. I was trying to get my wife tonight to buy into the idea of what I was calling a chisito.
Okay.
She goes, what is a chisito? I made it up on the fly because it's National Quesadilla Day, National Daughter Day, National Lobster Day. And
that's a lot for one day.
I know. It's a heavy load for Wednesday. And Hump Day. So I was saying that we should she goes, we should have quesadillas. We should have lobster quesadillas. So we're going to Target to pick stuff up. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking at tortilla shells. And I found street taco, right? Tiny. And then I found some Tillamook Mexican cheese. And I was trying to get her to buy into the idea of making little mini quesadillas, which I was calling chisitos. So we're going to have chisitos, the Mexican, little tiny quesadillas, little chisitos. And then my wife's like, yeah, that's never going to work. And I'm like, we should do it. I'm going to send a picture of the babe. Babe will introduce it to K-State. K-State's an ag school. It will become a real food product, and I will be screwed out of millions of dollars when they start selling the.
You need something to be bitter about in your old age. That's where you. That's what you missed right there.
Chisitos, that's me. All me.
God damn it!
People owe me money. Get that out your mouth. Get that out your mouth.
Ain't no grandson of mine gonna be eating no Chisitos in my house.
Not without giving Grandpa a dollar. Well, let me make a homemade Chisito for you, son.
Sure has done.
Make it old style.
Home style.
Home style Chisito.
Tell Kristen you during the podcast you realized the selling point is you need something to be bitter about in your old age. That's the final end result of your rant.
It's right. I started calling grilled cheese sandwiches because we were making them with American cheese, Americinis, like paninis. She's like, I go, let's make Americinis tonight. She goes, what is that? I go, it's grilled cheese sandwich with American cheese. But we're going to do it on a panini press, so it's fancy. It's an Americini.
I like it.
There's since we did like the racial banter, but there's an Italian phrase for like non-Italians, like Medigani.
What is it?
Medigani.
Okay.
Right? So I go to this sandwich shop with Frank. Frank knows everybody in the sandwich shop, it's Italian sandwich shop. And I made a joke about not being Italian. I said on the Pecker Road, right? She was, Medigani. I go, God damn these people. They brought me my sandwich. I go, here's one for you, Frank, and here's one for the Medigani. It's like, they owe me a sandwich. Frank goes, okay, what's on your sandwich? I go, if they're going to call it the Medigani because it's non-Italian, it's all white. I go, it's a bologna sandwich with American cheese on white bread, not toasted.
With the crust cut off.
Ooh, I didn't think of the crust off. But yeah, I go, that's what I want. I want a big-ass bologna sandwich, mayonnaise, and American
Stack
cheese.
of bologna. Piece of American cheese between each slice.
Yeah, I'll do fancy Medigani with like olive oil or something.
Ooh.
That might be pretty good.
Mr. Fancy Lad.
Come over to my house. You're going to have Maricinis, Mediganis, Cheetos.
You are so international.
Listen, yeah, let's call it tater tots. What's fry babies? Yes, when I was backdating to that, so her boyfriend came over, and I made a big bowl of tater tots, and I put like ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise in little serving dishes,
right,
and served it on a platter. And he's like, "Oh, tater tots." I go, "No, these are fry babies. Treat them with respect." He goes, "Oh, okay." And then I walk.
This is an Idaho charcuterie tray, please.
Just tater tots, fancy ketchups,
hash browns, potato wedges,
waffle fries,
those smashed Parmesan potatoes.
And for the meat, bologna. Yeah.
Oh man! All right. Well, that gets us to an hour 12, and we'll end on Spud Chat. Spud Chat.
Food meals that aren't meals.
Fictional foods for 1,000, please, Alex.
I don't know. I think Cheetos could take off.
I like Americinis.
Americinis.
That's solid.
Those are damn tasty.
All right, so that's
a lot of cheese and they get real gooey.
Oh yeah, just
everything.
And you just like spot welds to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need it with tomato soup. That's for fancy. That's for the elite. That's for fancy people.
Right.
Do that in a festa.
Maybe a bag of golden flake chips.
Yeah. Off-brand Ruffles.
When Laura and I were dating, we went to Cancun, and we stopped in a little convenience store to get some bottles of water, whatever. Ruffles were papas fritas con risiditas.
Nice.
We still call them that to this day. To this day, we don't have Ruffles. We have papas fritas con risiditas.
That's nice. That sounds elevated.
It's elegant.
Well, and Babe's, I thought Babe was coming home this weekend, but she's going to boyfriend school. To visit.
Where does he go to school?
I don't know. One of the directions.
North, south, east,
west.
No,
it's Missouri State University, I think.
Okay.
One of them used to be Truman State, and then they changed it to a directional. And I thought, what is such a lost opportunity to be Truman State and have your mascot be the A-bombs.
Truman State Fat Boys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's what you call the O line.
it's
They're always the fat boys,
the fat boys. Your receiving core is the little, yeah,
little men. Yeah,
little men.
and
Little
you only
men.
draft quarterbacks whose last name is Gay.
He's throwing the bomb. What?
A little historical knowledge is a dangerous thing in our hands.
Well, like Abe's high school was the Northmen, and they would then call like the girls' teams the Okies because of Oak Park. And I go, you guys have such a missed opportunity not to call them the Lady Northmen. She's like, we're not going to call them that, Dad. I'm like, you need to get on the leadership, and you need to push that. When she was on there with her boyfriend, I thought I had a shot. I go, he's one that I could get this to
Oh, yeah. Let's see, because our high school, it was the Lady Rams. That's not biologically possible.
Exactly.
They should have been the U's.
Yes, oh God. Hey, Kadiana, use.
And one of the schools in Vermilion Parish, somebody was the gentleman, and they called the girls' teams the Lady Gents. Now, that might work these days, but back in the 80s, that was not really. Ziggy
Stardust looking uniforms. Long, thin dukes.
Oh, all right. Let's call this one. That's the end of episode 78 of Slurp Toasty Podcast. We got away from potato talk in the show and talked about gender roles. So we are very topical, if nothing else. Until next time, I am still Bruce.
And I'm still Steve.
Trey Boucher, kids. Trey Boucher.